Then we begin our journey to Hearth Point. After traveling all morning, we decide to stop and rest for a while. The sun shines overhead in the sky, and there's a soft breeze to balance out the warmth of the day. Zach claims a spot in the shade of a tree where he cleans out his dischargers, and Amelia and Kara rummage through the packs to pass around water. Gotta stay hydrated on a warm day. Leanna approaches me.
Since we're taking a break, would you be up for some magic training? We can go into the clearing so you aren't just out on the open road.
This means I get to spend time with you. Of course I want to do some magic training. Let's do it. Finally! Some alone time together. I've got nothing else to do. Do I make it weird? Yes, I make it weird. Finally, some alone time together. I grin. You know, if you wanted to be alone with me, you only had to ask. Leanna blinks.
I did ask.
Never mind. Well, she's got me there. Then yes, I'd love to be alone with you. She looks a bit uncertain.
To train for magic.
Yes, to train for magic. Yes. She smiles. I follow her to a little alcove off the path. We're far enough that passers-by won't get a good view of me, but not far enough that we lose sight of the rest of the team.
The actual process is a bit tricky. You have to channel the energy out of the crystal, then concentrate on the process of shaping it, refining the energy into something you can use. So to do that, you need to concentrate on the crystal's form and use your mind to alter it.
Gonna be honest, I have no idea or understanding of anything you just said. I'm not sure I got all that. She pauses to think.
Okay, you have a manipulator now, so instead of trying to channel the energy from stored within you, try to concentrate on channeling through the manipulator.
Not much better, sweetheart. I look down at the manipulator on my wrist. All right, so I can channel the energy from this crystal?
Exactly, like this.
Leanna holds out her manipulator. It pulses softly with a blue light, and then a small burst of wind erupts from the manipulator. Okay, I'll give it a go. I stare hard at my manipulator, trying to focus on the energy of the crystal. I scrunch up my face in concentration, but nothing seems to work.
Just concentrate on the energy. Let go of your distractions.
Let go of my distractions. I try to clear my mind, but all I can think about is how nothing seems to be happening. It's not working.
That's okay. Keep trying. It's always hardest your first time.
I think through Leanna's explanation again. Is there something I've missed? Trying again, I concentrate, focusing on the energy. But nothing happens. This isn't working.
Don't give up. Try again. Just focus on that energy and use the manipulator to channel it.
I know you've said that before, but it doesn't make sense to me. Leanna runs her hand through her hair as she frowns.
I don't know how else to put it.
Find a way! It's clearly not working.
Once you get it, you'll know. You just have to keep concentrating and trying.
That's really not helpful. But I take a deep breath to calm myself down. It's not Leanna's fault, and she's being very patient. Is it just me? Why am I not getting it? I'll just keep trying until I get it right? Is there something wrong with the manipulator? Or just flat out, this isn't working? Well, as they always say, as the saying goes, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And I think I'm just going to keep doing that here, because to blame the equipment, that's always the first excuse when someone's getting frustrated. No point to blame the equipment. She wouldn't have bought it for me if she didn't try it out first herself. Plus, it's a gift. Don't want to say she got you a bad gift. This isn't working. Just gives up. You know what? I will just keep trying until I get it right. Leanna hasn't given up on me, so I shouldn't give up on myself either. I have to keep trying. My face flushes as I try to find the energy of the crystal, but I'm still unsuccessful. Leanna looks concerned at the sweat beating on my temple.
Are you okay?
I sigh heavily. This is hopeless.
It just takes practice.
I can tell Leanna wants to stay positive, but her words feel flat. This is taking a toll on her too. I don't know what else to do. She frowns as she thinks, then shakes her head with a sigh.
How about we take a break for now? Maybe if you have a chance to think about it a little more, you'll have more success next time.
I half-heartedly shrug. Sure. I try to keep the skepticism out of my voice, but Leanna seems just as skeptical as we return to the group. Kara, Zach, and Amelia are ready for us when we get back. After I have a chance to rehydrate and grab a quick bite to eat, we continue on our way. The rest of our journey goes far more smoothly than my training. Well, I would think anything would be smoother than that training session we just had. As the sun dips low in the sky, we decide to rest for the night. After securing a well-covered area, we get to work setting up camp. Leanna disappears to gather firewood, while Zach rummages through the supplies, prepping for dinner. Kara secures our perimeter. I roll out my sleeping roll, and Amelia does the same. As she sets down her things, the Pongo plushie from before falls onto the grass. Amelia carefully rights it, then continues to unpack. The Pongo jiggles up to the plushie and greets it excitedly.
Boy!
The plushie makes no reaction, but the Pongo is undeterred.
Boy!
Again, the plushie doesn't respond. The Pongo deflates and his face falls.
Boy?
He doesn't understand it's a toy. Amelia furrows her brow, then subtly touches her manipulator. The Pongo plushie suddenly bobs to life as a thin layer of water pools underneath.
Boy?
Amelia tries not to move her lips.
Boy.
She's trying ventriloquism now. Interesting. The Pongo's eyes grow wide and he beams.
Boy!
The plushie bobs again, and the pongo squishes against it as if in a hug. That's adorable. Amelia cracks a smile, which disappears when she meets my gaze. She clears her throat and returns to fiddling with her things. She secretly a softie, or pretend I didn't notice. I think at this point, I'm just going to pretend. Not that we don't know she's a secret softie, but she seems a bit embarrassed, so no point to bring any attention to it, so I'll just smile to myself and look away. I pretend like I didn't see anything. I go help Leanna find more kindle. When we return with the firewood, we get a fire started. Zach pulls out a simple pot and a few basic ingredients. Then he gets to work. Soon, the fragrance of cooked meat makes my mouth water. Kara wanders over to the fire.
That smells amazing. What is it?
She reaches for one of the skewers, but Zach's impression makes her pause.
It's not done yet.
So uncooked meat is what it is right now. She pouts and continues to eye the food. After some time, a very appetizing aroma fills the air. Zach removes the skewers from the fire and scoops porridge into bowls.
All right, it's done.
He hands a bowl to each of us, then settles down as we dig in. I bite into the juicy meat and let the taste linger on my tongue. It's smoky and tender. A perfect barbecue. Kara savors the bite.
Oh, I didn't know camp food could taste this good.
Zach shrugs.
It's nothing special.
We've been doing this all wrong. No more rotating cooking duty. I vote we have Zach cook for us every night.
I second that because I can't cook worth a damn. Zach turns his head away and lets his hair fall over his face, clearly embarrassed.
You don't have to make a big deal out of this.
Too late. I'll be your wingman. Don't get involved. I'm gonna be his wingman. Duh. I second that vote. Seriously, Zach. I don't even know what this meat is, and I don't care, because I want it in my belly. You are a man of many talents. Kara looks at Zach with a soft smile on her face. I think she's impressed.
That's weird, man.
You're weird. Shut up. What? No! Dude, I stare at Zach, who's entirely focused on me and completely unaware of Kara. This guy is pretty dense.
I wonder what other talents you're hiding.
Is he limber too? That's an image. He shrugs.
It's okay. I'll find them all out sooner or later.
Oh my. Zach doesn't respond, but begins to gather the empty bowls. His expression on his face is kind of concerning me, though.
Seriously, though, nobody's cooking can compare. Especially not mine.
Mine either. Zach pauses.
I enjoyed it.
There he goes. He's not as dense as we thought. Kara blinks.
Really?
He offers a short nod.
It's not bad.
Zach looks up and meets her gaze. Kara's grin widens and a small blush creeps into her cheeks. Yes! It's finally happening! This is my cue to leave. I quietly slip away, and go sit down at the edge of the campsite. Leanna sits down beside me with a small smile. I feel her hesitate before she speaks.
So, magic training today.
I was trying to forget about it, but now that you bring it back up... Yeah.
I know today wasn't quite what you expected, but after more practice you'll get it.
I know she's trying to be encouraging, but this is really the last thing I want to talk about. The thought of having to go through that again fills me with dread. When do you think the next practice should be?
Honestly, every day.
Beg pardon? I swallow the groan that threatens to come out, but I can't hold back my dismay. Every day? Leanna forces a smile.
Casting is not easy, and it really takes as much practice as possible. With us traveling to the next temple, this is the best way to get you to learn quickly.
She looks away, and I see her smile drop. Leanna's clearly as excited about this as I am, but she's trying hard to pretend like that's not the case. I can respect that and appreciate that she's trying. Well, then I hope the next time will be more productive than this time. Leanna tries to sound more chipper than she is.
Like I said, nobody can cast their first time. It's something I had to work on for weeks before I was able to even manipulate a light breeze.
Well, if you would have led with that in the first place, I wouldn't feel so terrible now, would I? At least it's not just me. Yeah, because you were like 11. This still sucks. You know what? At least it's not just me, though. That does make me feel better. Actually, hearing that even Leanna had trouble is more comforting than I thought. She's such a talented caster now that it gives me a bit of hope. I smile genuinely. You're right. I'm sure with practice, I'll get it. Leanna's mood lifts and she returns my smile.
That's the spirit.
Yes, the waifu's excited. Leanna looks up at the sky.
We should probably get some rest. It's another early start tomorrow.
As Leanna says that, I feel a yawn coming on. That sounds like a good idea. The others are winding down too. Zach stays up to take the first watch. As Leanna heads over to her bedroll, I crawl into mine and try to ignore the hardness of the ground. Eventually, I fall asleep. Means we weren't as tired if we weren't just focused on the ground, because normally when we've slept outside, we just pass out right away because we're so tired. We wake up in the morning and break down the camp. Then we resume our journey. After traveling for most of the day, we finally end up at Hearth Point. Hold on here. This is... Granted, I don't remember from early access what Hearth Point looks like, but I don't picture it being this tiny. Now, in comparison to some of the other towns and cities we've been in, Hearth Point seems really small based on this image. But I like it. It's such a cute and quaint little town at this first appearance. This is where Arton Hunt is supposedly. I think I'm finally getting used to all the walking as my legs, although tired, don't feel sore.
We'll need to find this person quickly. Adventurers aren't known for sticking around in one spot for very long.
Let's not waste any time then.
Amelia nods.
I propose we begin our investigation at the taverns.
taverns.
Yes, there are 2 taverns in Hearth Point. One over there,
She points to a building by the entrance.
and another one facing northeast from the second gate.
Kara seems a little surprised by how much Amelia knows about this town. She probably had to study the geography of Havengard and read about all of the surrounding towns and villages.
We don't have too much daylight left.
He's right. The sun sets the sky ablaze as it dips closer to the horizon.
Let's split up. We'll be able to cover more ground that way. If one tavern is a dead end, then check the other. If he's not in either place, then we'll meet back here.
I concur with this plan. Any objections?
No. No one speaks up.
Then let us proceed.
Zack, Amelia, and Kara start heading towards the nearest tavern.
Wait!
They look back at us.
We didn't talk about how the group is being split.
I think they kind of knew, though. Kara smirks. I hate when she does that.
I think it's quite obvious.
That's why. Because she's got a lot of sass to her, and then she gets mean. Well, teasing mean, but... eh. Leanna blinks at me as the group resumes walking. Hi.
What does that mean?
I have no idea. I'm not too sure. We're a couple, of course. Who cares? We have a job to do. Well, not just yet. See, she still seems a little uneasy when I make kind of snarky comments. We can't just ignore it, though, so we're just gonna go with the ... I shrug. Beats me. Very strange indeed. So, let's get going? Leanna nods.
Ready when you are.
Play the dumb card. It's a brief walk through town before we reach the place. As we push the door open, the warm smell of bread wafts through the air, bringing with it a chorus of laughter. The tables are full of men and women sharing food and pints. This place has a cozy feel, and as we look around, I feel comfortable and welcome.
So, Kara mentioned Arton has an eye patch.
She pauses as she glances at the patrons.
We should split up and see if we spot him.
I nod. Sounds like a plan. We separate and begin our search. I slowly walk around the tavern, looking for anyone with an eye patch. As I begin to lose hope that he's here, I spot a man sitting alone. He's scribbling furiously in a notebook, but more importantly, an eye patch covers one eye. Finally, a lead. I hurry over to him. As I get close, I notice he's drawing a map. He stops and looks up at me.
What do you want?
His tone is gruff, but he doesn't seem hostile. Are you Arton Hunt? He sizes me up.
What of it?
I heard that you found an area of high energy. He continues to stare at me. I was wondering if you could share that information. He waves a hand dismissively.
It's not something to be shared.
I can pay you for it. He frowns.
You can't just buy the experience of discovery. Coins are merely a construct of human greed, and you need to absolve yourself of materialistic reliance to transcend.
Okay there, crazy. Whatever that means. Will you at least tell me where it is? He glares at me. I'm gonna take that as a no.
I'd like to get back to my work, and you're taking up my time.
He taps his pen impatiently on the table.
Do you mind?
It looks like I've annoyed the guy. I doubt he'll say anything now. Thanks anyway. I leave the man alone and search for Leanna instead. Can't be that hard to find a blonde, blue-eyed bombshell. Drop-dead gorgeous, I should say. I find her with the rest of our party and approach them.
Arden wasn't at the other tavern, but we heard that he's here.
He is. Everyone turns to face me.
Did you find him?
I nod. Yeah, he's back there. I point to the back tables. But it seems like he's not the sharing type. I even offered to pay, and he still refused to talk. Leanna's face falls, and Amelia and Zach seem discouraged. Only Kara remains optimistic.
Great, you've done the hard work for us.
Zach stares at her, probably with the same look I have on my face.
Did you just miss the part about how that guy won't talk even for money?
Finding the target is the difficult part. Getting information out of him is just a matter of being tactful.
What do you mean by that? Kara winks. Never mind, I think I've figured it out. Zach cracks his knuckles and grins.
I get you. We're finally on the same page.
No, actually.
I didn't mean beat the information out of him.
Zach frowns.
You just have to give him an appealing reason to loosen his lips.
That's what I was thinking.
Are you proposing to exploit his humanistic need to procreate with an attractive maid as a guise to extract the needed information?
Yes! That's exactly what she means. Just without so many words. Nerd.
If you mean flirt with him to find out what we need to know, then yes.
What a cunning method. I approve.
That's a surprise. We all stare at Amelia. You do. She nods. That was unexpected.
Who shall be executing this plan?
Oh, why am I not an option on this, or Zach? Leanna, Amelia, or Kara? Well, I don't want the waifu to try to flirt. And Amelia, no. She's like a child. So, I guess through process of elimination, we're gonna try Kara. Are you up for the job, Kara? She bounces in affirmation.
I thought you'd never ask.
She heads towards the target, swaying her hips alluringly. Leanna looks on with amazement.
She turned it on just like that?
Seems like she's not the only thing turned on, as we stare at Zach, I assume. Yep, that face says it all. I shift my attention to Zach, who, very obviously, stares at Kara's derriere.
Zach!
Zach snaps back to reality, and his face flushes when he notices all of us looking.
What? I wasn't staring.
Aha.
No accusation was made, yet your defensive disposition is quite revealing of your intent.
and I'm sure she would be very flattered to know you were staring. Zack coughs and crosses his arms as he looks away.
You're thinking too much into this.
We watch Kara working her magic. She engages Arton and at one point even gets him to laugh. She scoots closer to him and rests a hand on his arm. Things seem to be going well. As the conversation continues, Arton suddenly shakes his head and dismisses Kara. She tries to laugh off the dismissal and re-engage him in conversation, but he looks back down at his page and continues drawing. Still stunned, she slowly makes her way back to us.
I don't understand.
Did he just shut you down? Her eyes glaze over in disbelief.
It would appear Kara was unsuccessful.
No shit, Sherlock. Leanna or Amelia? Why are the two of them options? More importantly, why is Amelia an option? We're gonna go with the actual adult and try Leanna. Leanna! You're up to bat now. Leanna looks surprised.
Me?
Kara failed, it's your turn! Kara masks a chuckle as Zack snickers. Leanna frowns.
What's with that reaction?
Kara smiles.
Oh, don't get me wrong, you're cute, but I'm not sure you've got the personality needed for this type of thing.
Leanna frowns.
And what's that supposed to mean?
I'm not gonna answer this one.
You're a bit shy.
That's the nice way of putting it.
I can be plenty forward.
Kara and Zack burst out laughing.
As if you fared any better.
Ha! She got you there! Kara's smile drops.
It's always worked before.
Not this time! Leanna looks at Amelia.
You think I can do it, right?
Amelia studies Leanna.
I must admit that your propriety does not lend well to the suggestion that you could entice the desired sexual attention.
What did you say about my waifu? Leanna crosses her arms and pouts.
Even you, Amelia?
Aw, okay. How about you show one of us what you've got? If you're successful, you can try.
Give her a trial and error sort of thing, or an audition if you will.
Fine.
Kara points to me. Uh-oh.
There's your target. What are you going to do?
Ah, she blushes though. Either she's embarrassed to try this, or something else that has to do with me, I don't know. Leanna's cheeks tinge slightly as she meets my eyes. I have a strange feeling in my stomach. Feels a lot like there's some creature that's in there that has wings and it's fluttering around and there's like 6,000 of them. She takes a deep breath to gather her thoughts, then flashes me a determined look. She oversways her hips as she walks over to me. The movement is too exaggerated and makes her look like she doesn't know how to walk.
Oh,
She stammers as she tries to speak, almost as if the words elude her.
Hey there, sailor.
Hey there, sailor. Hey there, sailor. Hey there, sailor. That's the best you can do? Really? Okay. Hey there, sailor. Dear Christ. I look at her blankly.
What?
What?
Hi?
Oh, yeah. Pongo's getting in on it. You know it's good.
Despite having an attractive figure and aesthetically pleasing features, it is now abundantly clear why Leanna has been unable to acquire a companion.
Oh! Oh, that hurts the pride a lot. Ouch! Apply cold water to burnt area. Dear Christ, Amy.
Amelia!
Whew, that's scorching. I felt the heat off that one.
At this rate, the only companion she'll be acquiring is a house full of cats.
Zach nods in agreement.
You guys are so mean!
Leanna pouts. That was hilarious. I thought it was cute. You know, as funny as it was, I could say it was quite adorable. She was trying maybe a little too hard, which is what made it cute. So, I thought it was cute. Gonna earn us some waifu points. I didn't think it was so bad. Leanna shakes her head.
You're only saying that to make me feel better.
Maybe. Is it working? Before I can say any more, Amelia speaks.
I believe we should nominate someone else.
I don't want to. Leanna crosses her arms, but doesn't protest. This is why I didn't want to nominate someone else. All right, let's rip off the Band-Aid. Can't believe I'm about to say this, but how about Amelia?
Wow.
What's wrong with you?
Dishu made me do it! Well, Leanna shoots me a disapproving look.
She's just a kid!
Kara folds her arms and looks at me just as disapprovingly as Leanna.
I never thought you'd turn out to be such a creep.
I had no choice in this matter. Amelia blinks in surprise.
I believe you are mistaken about my age.
Amelia's words fall on deaf ears as the girls continue to give me death glares. Okay, maybe not Amelia. Let's try that again. You said it. That's everyone then.
Regrettably, all of our options for this plan are exhausted.
Great. What are we going to do now? Kara suddenly looks around.
Wait, where did Zach go?
Why wasn't he an option instead of Amelia? Why not have all of us try except for me because I failed? We search frantically for him before spotting him besides Arton.
Oh no, we'll get in trouble with the city guards if he is...
To everyone's surprise, Arton's face is deep red as he coyly looks away. He giggles as he hands something to Zach. Zach accepts the parchment and nods at him, then heads back to us. Arton looks longingly after Zach's retreating form.
Here.
He hands Kara the parchment. She opens it up to reveal a map of the neighboring forest. There's a sinewy path drawn in to indicate where pockets of high-energy readings are. Kara looks from Zach to the map and back to Zach.
But how did you get this?
Zach shrugs. Kara continues to stare at Zach. This time, she seems less surprised and more impressed. Well, at least we have what we need. I'm relieved that someone was able to get Arton to crack, but how did Zach pull it off? And without it coming to blows, no less. I shake my head. I guess some mysteries will never be solved. I mean, that one's an easy one to solve. Arton just likes him tall, dark, and handsome. I glance outside at the darkened sky. It's getting a little late. Do you think we should stay here for the night, or should we head out?
We wouldn't be able to make much progress. May as well spend the night here and get a fresh start in the morning.
That's a good idea. All right. Amelia stands.
Now that our business has concluded, I must take my leave.
Where are you going? Everyone stares at her.
Where are you going?
I have an obligation I must fulfill.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say it sounded like you're meeting someone.
You are correct. It will not take long, and I will be ready to rejoin you in the morning.
As Amelia turns to leave, Zack stops her.
Are you sure you should go alone?
Amelia raises an eyebrow.
Surely my parents would mean me no harm.
Oh!
Parents? Yes. They would be very upset if I were to pass through without visiting them.
Understandably so.
You have family here and didn't tell us? I did not see the relevance. Don't you want to see them? To visit them is currently the obligation that I am going to fulfill.
Good. Let's get to it then.
Kara gets to her feet and pushes Amelia towards the exit.
I do not understand.
We're going to meet your parents.
Before Amelia can protest, Kara has already let her out the door. The rest of us trail behind, and we'll meet Amelia's parents next time. I'm going to end the episode here. As always, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to let me know by hitting that like button down below or leaving a comment. It really does help me out. Feel free to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, just at Sylarclone. See what I'm up to outside of making videos and just get updates as to when things are going live. And as always, make sure to unleash your power by hitting the subscribe button down below today as well. And I will see all you heroes in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. May the Force be with you, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.